Hello, workmates. Welcome to Work and Talk in PH, your go to podcast for lifestyle insights, career convos, and real estate realness, where chill convos meet real life lessons because hashtag it works.
All right. I'm Ron, and today we're diving into the world of interior and workplace design. So, how it shapes not just our offices, but the way we work and live every day. Right? Our guest is someone who has been at the forefront of creating smart, functional, and inspiring workplaces. She's an advocate for workplace strategy and design in the Philippines. Guys, please help me welcome Charisse. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you.
So happy to have you here.
Honored to be
All right.
here. Thanks.
I was like asking her kanina if it's no longer a question of how busy are you this week, right? It's automatically busy for a lot of professionals. Let's start from the beginning. So we know that careers don't happen overnight. Tell us how you started.
How I started in my career. Well, I was influenced. Well, my dad's a civil engineer to start with. So pretty much I grew up in a household with conversations about engineering, design, architecture, and we also have our manufacturing facility.
Okay.
So just beside the manufacturing facility is actually my high school. So every after school, sinusundo ako and I hang out dun sa facility and I will just be walking around there. So from the very beginning when I was still young, talagang I was
Exposed.
exposed to this profession and
But that's very technical, right? How did you get inspired to pursue interior design?
well,
Not engineering.
yeah, well, I got into it and I'm a very curious girl, and from there I've always like asked, how do you get this? How do you get that?
Mm.
Well, thanks to my dad. And I found whenever I'm in the mall, that infamous bookstore, I would always find myself dun sa aisle ng mga design and architecture. That's how I found out about it.
Mm.
And then I keep asking my dad, what's this? What's that? How do you do this and that? And he probably suggested that it's good for me to look into design and architecture. And before kasi when I was thinking about design, my thought is about just colors and anything playful and
Right.
decorative. So yeah, I took up the interior design. That's really how I got influenced
That's
with
nice. You
this
had
background.
it here in the Philippines?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah, in the
In the
Philippines.
Philippines.
And then did you practice here right away?
Yes.
You practice here right away.
Funny thing is, fourth grade pa lang, I really know I wanted to be an interior designer.
Wow.
I really wanted to be an interior designer. I couldn't think about anything else. Yun nga, after realizing that I have so much connection to design and architecture, fourth grade pa lang, I was really sketching and drawing, and I asked my dad to build a drawing board for me.
For you.
And he got me a T-square as a gift. So I was pretending like an architect at that time.
At fourth grade?
Oh!
At fourth grade?
Yes, at fourth grade yun. Since then, all I can think of, I was asking my mom how long more before I get to college
Mhm.
so I can start learning design and architecture.
That's so cute.
Yeah,
Wow.
it's fun.
It's so cute. I can't imagine. I took up engineering and I only saw T-square nung college na.
No,
Yours
I had-
was pretty early.
Yes.
Way early.
Yes. I really pretended, because I was seeing in the books, yung mga architect, they pin things on this board, and I wanted to copy that feel.
Mhm.
So I got my dad to make a drawing board for me, and he got me the T-square.
So I can only imagine that your journey to pursuing interior design has been like parang curated, right?
Very
So,
early.
have you had like a favorite project that you feel very special with?
In my entire career, probably the most special. It wasn't the best of what I did, but I'd say it's the most special project for me because it's a project where it really tested my design skill. That's one. Second, it's the biggest at that early years of my career. And third, I went against the big design firms. And when I say big design firms, not local ones, foreign ones. And I was blessed to be awarded that project, and I really didn't think I'll get it, honestly. All I know, I've just put all of my love and passion into creating that idea, and I think they bought it.
Right, right. Nice. Is it okay to mention this project?
I can't mention the project, but it's a beauty company.
Mhm.
They've got offices worldwide,
Okay.
and it's their
Okay.
headquarters here.
All right. Sige, maybe we'll try to include snaps of the office look if in case she gets
Pwede.
allowed. Diba? So that they get an idea.
Yeah,
All right. But of course you studied in Australia.
I
Right.
did
How was it?
masters.
How was it like there? What's the difference? Well, let's go with the educational part first.
Mm.
Difference in studying in the Philippines and studying in Australia.
Well, studying this path in Philippines, it's more of like the practical side,
Mm.
the very basic, general of what you need to understand and know in this profession. But I think the difference, while there's the regulations that you have to learn and how and adapt within the Philippine
Right.
conditions, there's also a lot of things to learn when you study abroad. Well, we know abroad naman, they've got better technologies and they're always ahead.
Mhm.
So you can get all insights, newer insights from them. What's it like? There's good things to it. A lot of good things. It allows you to see things differently. Gives you a different perspective on the way you approach. Sabi ko nga, sa Philippines, it's more practical, technical, and conditions under the Philippine rules and regulations. Pero in Australia, there's more. They actually train you to think outside of these restrictions.
Mhm.
They want you to be inquisitive, they really want you to be creative, innovative, and really high on design thinking lens. So, yeah.
Wow, I can only imagine. But what I can't imagine is you learning their codes. Because that's what you're saying. Because that could be the hardest part, right? Because
Yes.
taking up studying here in the Philippines, being familiar with the local codes, and then going to Australia, trying to study. Are there a lot of differences? Mas stringent.
Yes, they're stringent in there, mostly about health and safety.
Okay.
So that's pretty much the number one condition for them, making sure the users
Mhm.
are safe in certain environments. Down to the even just specifying floor types
Mhm.
in commercial spaces. We have to have all the certifications. We have to have slip testing and ratings done and get it certified
Mhm.
before you really just specify it. There's a lot of all those conditions in. Whereas here, sure, they've got all of this elements in this certain material, but it's really not something people deeply bother about.
Uh-huh.
As long as you know you won't slip in this certain material, it's tactile, all
As
that.
long as it's usable.
It's
Right, it's
usable, and
tolerable.
also realistically, as long as it's cost efficient
Yeah.
for them. That's the reality. But whereas in Australia, they're heavy on really making sure people are safe in a certain commercial space.
It's so ironic that when you get to have these kind of conversations comparing Philippines versus others, that you end up so sad that you're just gonna laugh at
Yeah, I
it, right?
know.
Yeah.
It's tough kasi my career really started here, and you already know you're aware of the practices,
Mhm.
what happens here, and then you learn things from other Western countries, the other progressive countries. So you have to find the balance kasi you're still in the Philippines.
Yeah.
There are conditions that does not apply
Mhm.
here to what we can do in Australia. And also, there's a lot of other factors, time, resources. So you have to really find a good balance between that. At saka syempre, what's acceptable for your client and within the budget.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, so that's with the comparing the academe. Now, how about the practice itself as a consultant?
Practice, well, I know for a fact that here, usual case kasi, the client gives you a project. They provide you space requirements, what their aspirations are, the very basic of what you need to be able to plan something, lay out something. But then in Australia, we're very heavy on discovery. We're very heavy on data gathering because there you'd think when you put something, building a whole space already costs you.
Right.
So why not build something of quality, compliant, safe for people to use.
Mhm.
So for them, there's this
Hashtag
aspect.
flood projects. Sorry.
Lagot.
Just kidding. Just kidding. Go on.
So for them, really, the approach is different. We put so much emphasis towards discovery and really understanding user experience. The way, even for myself in our firm, we do behavioral pattern study, space utilization, not just you give me the requirements and then we'll plot this. Kasi especially at this point, anything can happen, like the pandemic. It changes the game.
Right.
And your built environment, you're already spending towards something. Why not make it good and really better for your business's growth as well? Because it's designed flexibly. You can be agile within this space. You already know what you can do and what adjustments you can make, so it remains steadfast despite whatever another circumstance or pandemic that happens.
Right. Right.
Yeah.
I think for me to my key takeaway on what you just said is design something that makes sense, right?
Yes,
Makes
has
sense in
to.
all aspects.
Has to.
Kasi some of my experiences from before are projects that kind of uses a template because
Correct.
they're so time pressured.
Correct.
Yeah. To the point that they sacrifice being reasonable on applying some of these specifications.
Yeah, kasi you really have to put emphasis really on the discovery bit eh. Kasi doing the built environment, it's not just about creating a beautiful space. Sure, that's one thing. At the end of the day, that's what people see first.
Mhm.
But then again, once you experience the physical space and people start using it, it changes the game.
Mhm.
So if you look at it at the perspective of aesthetics or beauty first, prior to the usability of the space and the performance of it, marami kang mamimiss kasi hindi din maglalast yung space.
Mhm.
Hindi siya magiging effective for a certain department. Kasi, di ba, we know, say, in an office space, there's marketing, there's production or operations. The way people of these certain departments work, it's different.
Yeah.
On top of that, personally, we're probably not the same in the way we work.
Mhm.
There would be cases like me. I may be at times, because of my work, need to be an extrovert. But most of the times, I just want to be alone because I do a lot of focus works. But then again, I have to balance having team collaboration. So sometimes you would need spaces to really put respect on the way
Each of these
each
roles,
of these personalities and character. And I think that's really how you maintain sustainability for workplaces and also creates an impact sa business because your people are
Definitely.
happy where they work.
Which increases productivity.
Correct.
Right. Ano yun eh? Domino effect.
Domino.
You mentioned about the pandemic era, right? Time when I think hybrid work arrangement was like tagged as
The
impossible.
buzz. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
You don't have to walk us through it kasi masyado mahaba yung several years na yun. But what's your takeaway for the main difference? What has changed from the way you were designing workspaces before
Yeah.
pandemic and now that we have, kasi before
Learned
there's
so
no
many things
co-working,
already.
right?
Correct.
No hot desking.
I think my main takeaway during that era, it's people realize how important it is to be more intentional in the way you design. So yun nga, really understanding how the business moves, how people uses the space. So I think it's really redefining the way we approach built environments that has changed after the pandemic. Yung aspect ng ngayon, sometimes it sounds less important, but really that you changing the way you perceive yung built environment, that's already one big thing we've learned from the pandemic.
Wow. The way you perceive the built environment, and some people would just say it's just a table.
It's
and
just a
chair.
table. No. If you look at it, how much do we spend for spaces? Especially for 1,000 square meter with how many people in there.
Yeah.
You're already spending a lot. So you cannot just say, lagay lang ako ng desk and chair and we're good to go. It has to be intentional. It has to meet the goals and the values the business wants to move forward with.
Right.
So if you want better ROI.
Well, this can also be arguable because there's still a lot of companies right now
Correct.
doing hybrid, pero still I think a huge number of hours we spend still would be inside the office.
Yes,
Right.
and you would we've been hearing a lot of organizations, the big ones, Amazon, Google, they're really pushing people to go back. There's really that factor, and I've got friends here. For years since pandemic, they've been doing remote, fully remote, but it's the employees who's asking for them to have their own space.
Really?
Yes, I can attest to that. I'm really, yun yung sinasabi natin because home is meant to be a sanctuary. You go home to rest, to sleep, to hang out with your family, make time with your family and friends. It really has to have that different feel to it. If you combine it with something like work, nagkakaroon ka na ng gray areas. And we've already experienced before, di ba? You're doing the Zoom meetings and hindi mo naman makontrol if you have kids or you have dogs, those noises, those distractions. So we have to put boundaries. When we in our homes, it's meant to sleep. We sleep there, we eat there, meet with our family. Pero when we're at work, yung headspace natin, it's to be productive, get things done to the certain work hours, mingle with friends, have that kind of space between all of this, yung experiences, parang at home, experience with family, myself, and then at work, you mingle with your colleagues, you do your work, be productive.
The way I see it would be putting it in a floor plan. You put demarcation kasi
Correct.
this is for work, this is for personal, this is for friends, right?
Correct.
So
Pretty
same thing.
similar with when we do our work, diba? When we do our work, if you have something that needs highly focused space, you want to have a private section, a quiet and immensely quiet space. And whereas naman with team collab, syempre, it's gonna be loud. You want open space, huddle area, something, a space that makes you feel creative. It's pretty much the same as that.
Well, this may not apply to all of the office spaces right now, but what are your thoughts on collaborative spaces na dapat siguro each office, like a must-have na? We understand here in the Philippines, it's probably still tagged as a game changer, whereas most other countries, that's already like a standard for them, right? But here in the Philippines, if it's still common, for example, conference rooms, what are the specification or elements that you see dapat meron na tong ganyan?
Yung belief ko with design kasi really is it should align with the values of the organization. There are some organizations that doesn't really need collaboration. May mga certain sectors for that. Meron silang, they've got the meeting rooms, but they don't need something na open and informal because they don't do those things. So I'd say it's personalized according to the need of each organization, has to be. And in terms of if you really need the collaborative space, you still have to have different types of collaborative sections. So there's one for informal discussions, open. You have all of the equipments ready, even if it's open. You have modular kits as well, like TVs, whiteboards, etc. that are modular. You can easily move it around. And also there's the fixed ones. Yung fixed ones with highly acoustic setting. So it's less distracting. You still have to provide it, but also you have to consider first, what do you really need? Kasi ang perception ng tao when they think about collaborative space, oh, that's a fun huddle space with bean bags, etc. It's not like that. Sure, with Google, that's their organization, that's their culture. But then think about it, legal, in a legal firm, is that something they would want? I'm not sure, but I've never encountered one that wants a beanbag.
I haven't seen. A beanbag's nice. It's gonna be
It's
fun.
nice.
But even in our office, I don't think it's gonna work. Even though we tried.
No, correct. Kaya ako, I'm heavy really on the discovery. What the discovery allows you to see things that you think you need. Kasi sometimes the leadership would think, we need this certain aspect. Say, we need a library because maybe the CEO loves to read. You're a CEO and you love to read. So we want a library. I think let's push people to reading more. But then, your workforce are Gen Zs. So Gen Zs value entertainment. We love fun. We love a breakout space. And you cannot just insist to them something that they don't want. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it's gonna be an expense.
Yeah.
Again, circling back to an unusable space din siya. It's gonna be a waste for you. So you really have to dig deep and really understand, factor in what your workforce are hoping, aspiring to have in a workplace, but also align it with the business goals. Talaga bang, is this needed? You don't have to say yes to everything, but you also want to consider listening to what their thoughts are.
Like, you want to meet halfway.
Yes, meet
Right.
halfway. Meet halfway that aligns with the business goals, the HR goals, because the HR really has to be very involved. There's culture in it, activating it, and also making sure yung employees are also heard. Because
Right.
at the end of the day, if we think about it, much of the leadership really they're not in the office. Because we need to be out. We need to be outside. And who's in the office? Yung workforce mo.
Right.
So you want to create a space that they will use. Not just because they have to be in the office and do their productive work there, but also because they personally want to be in the office to do their productive work.
I think it's gonna be easy for. I don't really want to highlight generational differences, no, but
Yeah.
it's actually true. Um, but in general, people would not find it hard to follow certain design. What do you call this? Like if the management would insist that we need to do this, we need to do that. For the workforce to accept it, they need to know it's effective.
Correct.
They had
I need to see it.
that it's gonna be effective. So that's the only way to convince them that we have to put it. Yeah, we have to compromise.
Yeah.
We're not used to using this kind of space.
That's
but
why there's change management.
Right.
You have to have all these campaigns, advocacies on why, as a leader, wanted to introduce this type of space so they get to understand. Once they're on board these ideas, they'll really understand the purpose and the intention for it. And you'll never know. Depends on how strong you practice that. You bring that change management in.
Yeah.
They'll really enjoy using these spaces.
And it's gonna test how consistent you are with the values.
Correct.
Uh,
It really aligns. I mean, yung design, sometimes it's, yeah, they think of it as just rows of desks and chairs, but there's more to it. It's such an important tool. And again, factoring in, ang laki na ng ginastos mo, di ba? We have to make sure that this expense, this cost, would really be valuable to the organization. So we have to be right. Make it
Not
right.
just by numbers in terms of the financials, but to the productivity and the
values
moral
that you want to
right?
build, the culture that you want to
Exactly.
bring in or be consistent with.
Which is hard to quantify.
Kasi that's the tangible reflection eh. Parang symbol yun ng brand mo.
Yes.
When I go say to your office, diba? I mean, I'm so proud to be here because it reflects everything I aspire to work in, the kind of organization. No? It just says a lot.
Right. Thank you for highlighting company values. Kasi the way I asked my question kanina, di ba? What would you suggest to put here and to put there? That's the traditional way.
Correct.
Right? That's the tradition. That's what I was exposed to
Yeah.
in most of my projects here in the Philippines. Use a template, just put here something like this, something like that. But thanks for reminding us na there's another way to do it.
Yeah.
Right? Discovery, what you want doesn't always have to follow the traditional.
Yeah. And I think what I really push with my clients, I want them to also be heavily involved. Here in the Philippines, I've encountered many, and especially the traditional ones, they rely on us as their designers, as their architects to decide on things. Sure, we can do that. I can do that. Happy to do it. The thing though is, if you're not heavily involved in the discovery and understanding why we're doing it, there will be misouts. Because what I know and how I run things and visualize it is different from how you visualize it. I may not understand how deeply your experience are dun sa organization. That's why I ask. So what I do is I usually ask. I ask experiences. I ask what your aspirations are, your goals. I inquire with your workforce to what they're thinking and put them all together. The client needs to be heavily involved. You cannot just leave it to us, give us your requirements to translate. No, it's not going to be effective. You have to be heavily involved and understand it primarily before even your workforce, so you can extend it to them.
Right.
Kaya it's really important for me to have these inquiries and discovery sessions with my client, whether it be surveys or workshops or or observation studies, they still have to be heavily part of the inquiries.
So the discovery part is your data gathering section.
Yes, I call it
Right.
discovery session.
Creative, di
Oh,
ba?
discovery, yes, it's creative. So the
Yeah.
discovery sessions, it's quite fun. You would look at it if you see our timeline. I put emphasis to it na parang there would be times, depends on the project. It could go 30 days.
Mhm.
Um, and it's divided into different types. So there's the technical, there's also the motivational kinds of workshops. So we do like surveys.
Mhm.
Surveys depending on the need could be technical surveys with your facilities, your admin, your HR, and also your employees.
Okay.
Because if the company is big, we just send out surveys. I mean, I cannot interview 1,000 employees. So we do that. And then we have the workshops. So the workshops are focus discussions. We call it the one-on-ones. So, to avoid biases and also to streamline yung timeline natin, we do it in departments. We want to hear what's the thought of the marketing side. I want to hear the sales people. I want to hear your operation. How do you guys operate? How do you use the space? So we all do all those like focus discussions with them. And most importantly, we do an executive workshop. So we do all of the decision makers need to have their own workshops too because sa kanila nanggagaling yung motivation. Sila yung the vision of the organization from the present to the future comes from them. So they have to be heavily involved in that workshop. And then we also do the observation study. That part is the data analysis using our tool. So we analyze behavioral patterns without asking anyone. Para walang biases. We don't
Okay.
distract them. We just study certain patterns in each spaces, how they use it, and if it's being used effectively according to how it's meant to be used. Kasi like, kanare, meeting spaces, you'll find you designed it for like 6 to 8 people, but then you'll find in the whole day it was only used by an individual. Meaning, you're lacking potentially a focus section in your area kasi meeting room is enclosed, fully acoustic. So they probably wanted more spaces where they can do focus individual tasks. So that bit allows us to see without biases how people use each spaces. And that's our whole discovery. It's lengthy, and we also have engineering. Kasi engineering always, if you look at the usual pattern of designing here, it's usually parang hindi least, pero they're not part of the conversation in the beginning, right? So, yung sa engineering side, to make it a point from the onset, they're also a part of it. I believe that engineering is really, really as important as the beauty of, if that's how I think it is. It's really important. So they have to be a part of the conversation at the onset. Kasi kahit kagano kaganda yung architecture, if it's not functional and efficient, and also they play a big role in the cost of the overall budgets.
Yeah.
So for us to create a more sustainable design, they should be a part from the very beginning.
Wow.
Not an afterthought.
Yeah. So this practice of yours, this strategy, naku, nag-leak ka na ng
Oh.
secret nyo, kung how do you make it successful. But
They don't know my discoveries.
yeah.
They're
Kasi it's still the original part, eh. Right?
Correct.
You can copy the action, but the output there, that's something you cannot.
and what's in the discovery.
Yes. So, what do you call this? But my question is, you've been doing it since you came from Australia and trying to practice it here in the Philippines. How has it been for you with introducing this kind of strategy to clients?
Honestly, when I got back, it was difficult to introduce these things. They do not understand. They feel like it's a waste of time. But surprisingly, you have clients who understand it mainly because of their experience during the pandemic. They realize how important it is to factor in workplace strategy to the design. That it's not just creating a space, building a space in just this span because we need more desks, more seats. For them, they wanted to be more intentional. So they realized the importance of this workplace strategy. And most of my clients now, that's what they're hiring me for. From workplace strategy to design and engineering.
Wow.
So yeah, which is great. Because you now see how Philippines is now changing the way they see design.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not just creating building spaces that's beautiful and functional, it's also something that's efficient and really aligns to their values. So
Right.
it's good to know guys, it's moving anything.
Yeah, that's a win for you na.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's all I want. For them to see how important it is.
I want to congratulate you now because I think I know how hard it is. It's very I mean that's already part of change management. You're trying to change the way people perceive these things.
Especially the
Yeah.
decision makers.
Exactly.
They've practiced it for so long. This thing is so new to them that they're unsure.
Mhm.
But hearing them really believe in you and at least believe in you, that's already a big win.
Right. Right. Congrats for that.
AI,
Okay. Last bit. AI.
yeah.
Yes. So I think it's gonna be hard, or correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's hard for AI the way you explain that, you can learn the term discovery, but you don't know exactly what's inside it,
Yeah.
right? But how has it been for you? Beneficial for the most part? What are the challenges as well in adapting these tools? Have you
Beneficial.
been using?
Yes,
Mhm.
AI is something that we also use in our office.
Mhm.
I really push them to use it because use it as a tool.
Mm.
So we use it like say ChatGPT to put things together. If you have any idea, it will help you put everything together. Sure, why not? Also, our tools like Photoshop, Adobe, it all has AI in it. Which is really good because it makes things easy for us. Before, yung edit pa namin, if you want to remove a background, it's gonna take you age. You have to click, click, click. Now you just like remove the background. Ta-da!
Done.
It's done. Even the rendering now, because
Uh-huh.
of AI, it's gone from an hour, from 3 hours to down for 2 minutes now. So it's been very helpful as a tool. However, in our office, we make sure that you don't let AI think on behalf. It has to have the human touch, and that's what our clients are hiring us for, because we are still intentional in the way we put creativity in each spaces. Parang we consider many things pa, not what AI knows. And also, you're not being unique because doing AI parang library of ideas of everyone.
Yeah.
Whereas us, we came up with this idea from this certain piece, from a book,
Yeah.
from a leaf, from how I observe my surroundings. So I always want to make sure that in my team they have a good balance of that. But I allow them to use it. Honestly, it's great.
Okay, that's perfect. Yeah, we were talking earlier about getting inspirations, right?
Yeah.
You can get inspirations from almost basically anywhere.
Yes. If it's the beginning of our project, conceptual stage,
Uh-huh.
sometimes the very challenge is really because there's so many ideas. AI is here giving you ideas. See, if you type in AI, ang dami ng ideas, but sometimes you don't know if this certain idea suits the client.
Right.
That's why you still have to go back to your drawing board, start from square one, read all of the data that you have gathered, and also look out. Look at your
Go
view.
outside.
Observe people. You can get inspiration from the little minute things that you find, from how people experience the wind. Honestly, I know it's cliche, but we like that. We like that our designs are influenced heavily by nature, surroundings, people's behaviors, patterns. That's what's
And-
great about us.
And guys, if you feel like you don't quite understand, you can always contact Charisse for that.
Yes.
What you're saying about going outside, look at the wind and all of that? Well, it's their particular strategy, so better learn from the experts. Okay, what do you think would now? I mean, how do you think you've done so far? Do you think is it easier for you now to pitch in for these clients, taking your strategy as part of the plan, like the discovery part and trying to do a lot of these surveys for the people, for the end users actually, right? Is it easier now? Do you think there's a long way to go for this kind
Yeah.
of
I'd say there's still a long way to go.
okay.
Like I said, it's not easy for them to accept yet that yeah, there's such thing. Like, why do I have to understand behavioral patterns? What's it for?
Yeah.
For built environments, you're just putting colors and furnishings and stuff. So it's still challenging, but like I said, with our clients and the way we express the need and importance of it, they're slowly starting to welcome it because they've already seen precedents from overseas.
Yeah.
It's been done. It provided positive impacts to organization. It allowed them during the pandemic to scale up and scale down easily because they've got these plans, strategized properly. So it's something that they now welcome.
Mhm.
There's still a little doubts to it, but they know it could be there's something to it. So a little goes a long way. So I'm
Yeah.
happy as long as you believe an inch of what I'm trying to share and trying to get them to understand. That's gold.
All right. Well, still, I'm very happy to hear how your journey has been, and very few of us professionals, right, have had the opportunity to see things from different perspectives,
Yeah.
locally and outside. That's why, guys, you've been very grateful to hear it from her. Thank you so much, Cherise.
Thank you.
Any last messages as well for our viewers?
Well, viewers. Well, to our maybe potential clients in the future, I guess, don't disregard what the physical space can do for your business. It's still very important and it matters so much to people, because it provides you different perspectives, from putting boundaries in what you do, from home being home, defining the workplace as where you be productive. So don't disregard the importance of physical spaces. It still matters, especially now more than anything. And put emphasis to listening to the very users of each space. And as for designers, I guess, if anyone's listening, for designers, I guess, I think this is the best time, especially now that we're exposed to many tools and how other design firms practice our profession overseas. For Filipino designers, this is the best time to really bring in this kind of innovations and really welcome new ideas and concepts so we can push Philippines forward.
All right.
Thank
Very
you.
well said. Thank you so much, Cherise. And I'm so happy to have you here.
No, thank
again.
you so much.
Looking forward to more collaborations in the future. And who knows if we can have another run of our
For sure.
event. Hopefully, we get some developments there. And
Yes.
what do you call this? Progress
Yeah.
that development for awareness.
Sounds
All
good.
right. Thank you so much. We were so lucky to have Charisse, who has shared her journey and insights from career beginnings up to the future of workplace design. Well, to our listeners, I hope this conversation made you look at your workspace differently. Whether you're working hybrid, on-site, or remotely, design really does shape the way we feel and function at work. Again, I'm Ron, and this is Work and Talk and PH, your go-to podcast for lifestyle insights, career conversations, and real estate realness. This is where chill conversations meet real life lessons because hashtag it works.